Page 11, Brigadier.
Page 11. Thanks, Commissioner.
For purposes of this section, I guess I will direct when we get there. So, Brigadier, you mentioned there that you never made a demand for the docket. Instead, at the time, you were acting on instruction from the Provincial Commissioner to collect all dockets that had J50 warrants of arrest and submit them to the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Crime Detection, Major General Mbuso Khumalo. Is that correct?
Correct, Advocate.
And that was because there was a direction from the Premier of Gauteng for Major General Khumalo to oversee those dockets.
Correct, Advocate.
Now, let's start here. Commissioners, if we can
Sorry. This may be a matter of detail, but I'm interested to just get an idea on, or rather, what authority, if any, did the Premier have to give such a direction? Do you know?
I don't know, Commissioner.
You may proceed, Ms. Bowen.
All right. So now to begin with, in order to understand this instruction, I'm going to ask Brigadier that we go to CJC 187. It would be the red page 27.
Suspended SAPS Citibank District Commissioner Brigadier Abraham Nkwashu has firmly denied allegations that he interfered in the bail proceedings of Johannesburg Central Police Officer Warrant Officer Michael Tau, who was accused of murdering Vereeniging Engineer Armand Swart in April 2024. Appearing before the Madlang Commission of Inquiry on Wednesday, Nkwashu rejected claims that he sought to influence the case, despite testimony suggesting he had attempted to gather information about whether the state will oppose Tau's bail. The Commission previously had that Swart's killing may have been a case of mistaken identity. Evidence presented indicated that the intended target was allegedly a whistleblower in possession of information linked to inflated Transnet tenders, with controversial businessman Katie Katiso Molefe implicated in the broader corruption allegations. During his testimony, Nkwashu described Molefe as a relative by marriage. Referring to him as his brother-in-law, he explained that Molefe had approached him seeking information about Tau's bail application, expressing a willingness to assist financially because of their friendship. Nkwashu told the Commission he shut down the conversation immediately and said, "I told him I do not discuss my police cases with civilians, nor even with my wife," maintaining that he had drawn a firm boundary despite the personal connection. He elaborated on the nature of their relationship, stating that Molefe is married to the widow of his estranged wife's late brother, Sazi. Nkwashu insisted that this extended family link did not influence his professional conduct. The Brigadier also defended his visits to Molefe while the businessman was in custody, saying he had merely delivered clothes and food. Following Molefe's arrest on December 6, 2024, the arrest formed part of a coordinated operation by a specialized political killings task team at Molefe's Johannesburg residence. Nkwashu confirmed that he visited Molefe at Groenpoort prison when the businessman was being held in connection with his alleged role in Swart's murder. He denied that the visit had any ulterior motive. However, the Commission confronted Nkwashu with testimony from Sergeant Lebogang Jukudu, which appeared to contradict his version of events. Jukudu previously told the inquiry that Nkwashu had asked him to check with the investigating officer identified as Witness B whether the state intended to oppose the bail. Evidence leader, Advocate Tabangpu, challenged Nkwashu's account, suggesting he had downplayed the extent of his discussions with Molefe. and said it is more likely that you instructed Jugudu to obtain information about the bail proceedings from witness B, particularly because they are in the same unit. In response, Nkwashu conceded that his recollection might be incomplete but denied deliberately intervening and said, "As I said earlier, we were in a social setting enjoying ourselves. I cannot deny that I may have said more than I now remember, but I do not believe I went as far as being suggested." He explained that the conversation in question took place during a Stokvel gathering attended by several SAPS members. It was during this informal setting, he said, that Dawo's arrest and Molefe's interest in the case surfaced in discussion, and said during the Stokvel, colleagues mentioned that they had escorted suspects, including Sergeant Dawo, from my office. That reminded me of my earlier conversation with Katiso, where he had asked about bail for a friend whose name he had not disclosed at the time. Court Commissioner Advocate Sesibaloi SC pointed out that according to Jugudu's statement, Nkwashu had not issued a direct instruction. Instead, Jugudu indicated that he had volunteered to make inquiries after being told that Molefe knew the accused and was interested in the bail outcome. According to Jugudu's testimony, he later reported back that the state would oppose bail. Powe pressed Nkwashu on whether he recalled receiving this feedback. Nkwashu said, "I don't remember that happening." He also disputed claims that he told Jugudu that Molefe had informed him Dawo had been granted bail. Further controversy arose over an alleged message of gratitude conveyed to the investigating officer after Dawo's release. The commission heard that Jugudu claimed Nkwashu suggested witness B should be thanked on behalf of Dawo's family. Powe noted that witness B had interpreted the message differently, describing it as a thinly veiled threat, implying that her actions were being monitored. Nkwashu distanced himself from the claim, said, "I would not do that. I did not send Jugudu to convey any message of thanks," although he acknowledged that such a message could reasonably be perceived as intimidating. In earlier testimony before the commission, witness B, an investigator attached to the Gauteng Organized Crime Unit, alleged that Nkwashu had told her that Gauteng Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Tumi Mtombeni wanted all dockets involving J50 arrest warrants, including Swart murder case. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa will on Thursday address the media at the Union Buildings in Pretoria at 4 p.m., where he is expected to clarify whether National Police Commissioner Vane Masemola will remain in his position. Ramaphosa will be joined by the Acting Minister of Police, Professor Feroz Kajela, in a briefing that comes amid growing pressure over Masemola's legal troubles and the broader credibility of police leadership. This comes after Masemola appeared in court earlier this week on 4 counts linked to alleged violations of the Public Finance Management Act. The charges have raised serious concerns about accountability at the South African Police Service. He is expected to appear again before the Pretoria Magistrates Court in May. President has not indicated what decision Ramaphosa will take. The presidency has not indicated what decision Ramaphosa will take. However, it has previously been said that they are studying the developments. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.